Hello and welcome, Ultimate fans, to sunny and windy Oakland, California. We are at Fremont High School for Week 8 of the Western Ultimate League. San Francisco Falcons playing host to Los Angeles Astra. It's everything on the line, depending on who wins and who wins by how much. We could see any of 3 different teams, including SF or LA or Arizona Sidewinders, who've been sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what will happen. Any of those 3 teams could still make championship weekend. It's going to be a fun game in the sun and the wind. I'm Jenna Weiner here with Lawrence McKendall. Lawrence, 2 teams, classic SF-LA rivalry that we hope will continue to grow, and with playoff implications on the line, you hope it's going to be a barn burner.
I definitely hope it's going to be a barn burner. I know the fans are eager to see what happens, and I love the implications. Let's see what happens. The 8th player on the field today is going to be the wind, and let's see how the teams adjust. But it's a beautiful scenario to watch the game unfold.
It's going to be interesting. As Lawrence said, lots of implications for championship weekend depending on how it all shakes out. To run it down for y'all at home, we are going to be repeating this throughout the evening. If LA wins, they are in. They are currently sitting at 2-3. A win would put them at 3-3 and in championship weekend in just a couple weeks in San Diego. If LA loses, they can still make championship weekend on point differential if they lose by 1, 2, 3, or 4 points. If they lose by 5, 6, or 7 points, then Arizona Sidewinder sitting on the sideline will make it in the point differential. San Francisco, the home team, has to win by 8 or more in order to make it to championship weekend. It is a big ask, but this is a talented Falcons team playing at home. Last time they were here, they did win against Oregon Onyx. You have to think that they at least are going to give it a go to try and get that 8-point margin to get them into championship weekend.
Yes, the Falcons put on a great show last time they were home. They had definitely got some home cooking. They got some fan love, and they responded. So let's see what happens. They definitely got the crowd rolling in. They're just going through the lineup announcements right now, and let's see if they bring the energy, because I'm definitely here and very excited to see how this rolls out.
Should be great. In terms of players to watch for the home team, San Francisco Falcons, one name has been key for San Francisco's success, but that is of Han Chen, central to pretty much everything good for San Francisco. Also, why am I missing players' names? Number of different players as well. Last time San Francisco were home, Michelle McGee matched up really well with Ali Steinfeld. She'll play a key defensive role for San Francisco as they try and slow this very potent LA roster.
Michelle McGee was large in the latter part of the game. Onyx were attacking deep, and she had a lot of stops deep. I'm sure LA's going to go deep, and she's going to be called to do a lot of the similar. Stop the deep looks and progress it back down on the field on her own.
And trying to get those deep passes off will be Jesse O'Connor, among others, trying to boost it deep. San Francisco is going to have to score quick and fast and often in order to generate that 8-point differential that they will need. Tell us about some of the key players that LA brings up north to the Bay Area, Lawrence.
Well, one of the players that I'm fond of is Maggie O'Connor. When she came to the Bay Area, I had the opportunity to play a number of leagues with her, and I've seen her progress, and that's one of the ones that you want to not get going early. If you can make her work for the disc and slow her down and tie her out, kind of like a Steph Curry situation, and then the Falcons can capitalize on the stops, it's great. But she's the one that comes to mind. LA has a very potent offense, but she's the one that comes to mind that they're going to look to get her started early.
So some other names folks may recognize, including Dina Ali-Melik, the former UC San Diego star, will be heavily involved as she always is, and we can only hope that we'll see a classic Dina layout grabber, layout block sometime this afternoon, sometime this evening.
No doubt.
As well as Stephanie Pritchard, key cog in LA's offense.
Naomi Guzman as well.
Plenty of great players going to be out on the field, as well as Western Ultimate League Executive Director Felicia Yang also suiting up for LA. Conditions out here in Oakland, as we said, quite a bit of wind, anywhere between 15 and 20 mile an hour gusts. Although we'll see how it goes as we get later into the afternoon and evening, see if the wind picks up or dies down at all. Temperatures pretty reasonable for ultimate weather, sitting at right about 64, 65 degrees. Feeling probably a bit cooler out there for the players, but gonna be running around, so probably won't feel the temperature so much as they'll probably feel the wind.
A couple of aspects of this game which will definitely unfold is the stall count. One of the things that, if defense can really use the 7-second stall count as the 8th player on the field as a defender, it can definitely create some scoring opportunities for defense. If the offense can get into space quickly and attack quickly and mitigate that 7-second stall count, that's very exciting. But the defense does have a leg up with that stall count. And then you add the wind, which is going to be the 9th player, defensive player on the field. That's the other thing that's going to make this interesting. But we've got a lot of talented players out in the field, and ballers are going to ball, and that's what we're all here to see.
Wind coming across your screen from left to right. Falcons starting in the left end zone. Will be starting going downwind, while LA will have to pull going upwind. With the offense starting going downwind, I think whichever team ends up finding that first upwind break, that first upwind score, is going to be critical in setting the tone early in this game.
Great point. Very important point.
Teams getting set to get underway. Halverson with the disc, pulling for Astra as we get underway here in Oakland.
Astra, Amy Halverson is pulling the disc.
Connor picks up centers to Chu for San Francisco, gets it to Chen. Their names we're going to be calling a lot this evening. Nice cross-field vision from O'Connor to find Mims, trying to find Han Chen a little bit too far. The wind may be taking it just out of the reach of the San Francisco Star. LA starting in the far corner, wind making it very difficult, and SF will get the disc right back.
That was really nice to see that last O. Falcons took it to them. That was exciting. So the D, let's see, they're in the red zone. Let's see if they can punch it in.
Throwing Falcons.
Vivian Chu. There's the scuba, too low for O'Connor. LA still trapped in that far corner. Able to get it up the line inside. Chen on the mark. Two LA players nearly colliding.
LA in space and comfortable.
Just now in the hands of May Bruce. In the middle of the field, looking for an inside throw, finds Roy. LA just trying to move the disc against San Francisco's magic defense pressure moving upwind. Call made as Halverson tried to find Roy. This will go back.
LA moving the disc, not finding themselves in a high stall count situation. Really comfortable.
Bruce marked by Chen, tries the around. Chen may have gotten a piece of it. Jesse O'Connor with the disc. For Hash. Disc too low for Anderson, stall called. Caitlin O'Bara on the mark, calling the stall. LA with this once again. Bruce in the middle of everything for Astra at the moment, but they are feeling trapped. Pressure by Vivian Chu forces the turnover. Mims to pick up. 10 yards out. But again,
it's bid.
Too low for the bidding Chen. Tough point already. We're already seeing the wind play into effect. Falcons getting close to scoring, but the disc just dropping with that downwind pushing them into the turf. Astra still trying to work it. Floaty throw. Another turn. SF will get it on the goal line.
And the offense might just have to boost it and get out of there. We'll see how this happens. But we got the Falcons with another shot in the red zone.
And Chu walking it out to the end zone line. It's Jesse O'Connor. Nice block from LA. Gives them yet another chance. Brewist with the disc, center of the field. See if she ends up boosting it, as you suggest. Instead opts to reset to the near side. Back to Brewist. Floated disc. Blocked once again. SF with yet another opportunity.
Got to get the disc flowing. Nice.
Double layout bid. Is Applegate and Halverson.
Nice try by Applegate. Nice bid. Good deep both sides.
Center of the field. LA trying to get moving a little bit faster. Connection not quite there. O'Connor picks up, and the team feeling quite comfortable at the moment in this first point, Lawrence.
Well, this is not good for the brochure at the moment here, so we got to clean this game up just a tap. But it just tells you how swirly that wind is. It's definitely problematic.
Making life tough for all players. Bruce trying to put it. And Roy able to run it down. Tries to get the continued pass, and it's a turn. Roy visibly frustrated, unable to make the connection. With Annie, no. LA had so much flow there. Bruce able to make the connection with Roy, but opportunity is squandered for that first upland point. Connor opted to take time. I think both lines feeling a little tired in this first point of the game. Still 0-0. Falcons with the disc, like the field to go.
A little bit of jitters, but that was great for LA to get some flow. You know, it's very interesting. You can warm up with deep cuts, but seeing those deep cuts actually executed in the game is a different sort of mindset. So they get out there, they get outside the wind, they squander the opportunity in the red zone, but actually it's a good punt. Now they've got San Francisco back in their end zone. Let's see what happens with LA. Is it their time to clamp down, or can LA get out of that situation and progress down the field? So are you seeing? You can think it's gonna? Is it a wholesale sub? Would you sub at this time? Wholesale?
Looks like the Falcons are doing a wholesale sub. Western Ultimate League rules allowing for teams to substitute their entire lines after a timeout. An immediate turnover. LA keeping most of their players on the field. It's Bruce picking it up, but off the hands of Riley Swift, putting it deep.
Oh, nice.
Jacqueline Wen able to get under it. Bruce in the area, but unable to apply enough pressure. San Francisco fast breaking, angled throw. Wen unable to hold on to it. That would have been a highlight from Jacqueline Wen, that's for sure.
Exactly. Look, it's great to see the Falcons get in the flow. They're really, really confident, and something happens in the red zone. It just takes just a breath to get a cleaner look. But that was great to see them get so comfortably down the field.
Well, they kept many of their same players from before the timeout on the field. We'll see if those tired legs come into effect at all. When on the mark, matching up against Katie Killebrew, which is near sideline. Great defensive pressure.
Boom.
Falcons goal. Wen gets it for the score from Julia Ting. Falcons do hold downwind. They lead LA 1-0.
That was great. It was a great substitution call. Their offense scored quickly. It was very nice. Very good. Which poses a question. The defensive O-line, I'm going to say the D-line, when it gets a stop, has to figure out how to punch that in. That is the magical equation.
Absolutely, and we'll see what happens as LA puts out their offensive line on the field to go downwind. On the line includes the aforementioned Maggie O'Connor. We've said Jessie O'Connor's name as well for San Francisco. The two are indeed sisters. We have a sister v sister matchup in this one. So far, they haven't been quite on the same line yet to go head to head. We'll see if that does end up happening. Astra putting the disc into play just past half field, opting to just loft it. Woolridge in the area, unable to track it down. Now it's the Falcons' turn to try and work it all the way upwind.
Well, LA knows their strength. They went to it, and they almost connected.
Falcons trying to work it on the near hash. Case Swinnerton back. Guarded by Brooke Woolridge. Swinnerton forcing it up.
Nice try.
Sharon Lynn in the area, no call. At least downfield. Looks like there might be a stall call back at the handlers.
Today's game is played under the Western Ultimate Speed rules. You'll notice there's a 7-count stall count.
There's discussing.
By the observers as well as by players. At any point in this game, players can overrule
Swinnerton
the calls of observers.
Registering strongly. Looks like it's going to be contested. Turnover. Contested stall means it's going to be a turnover. Disc back to LA.
And the Falcons are lucky that that stall was brought all the way back to almost the 45 as opposed to the 10-yard line.
Honey Wayne picking it up, lofting it. Woolridge able to track it down in the wind. Oh! Swinnerton hitting the mat. Woolridge maybe catching Swinnerton across the face as she was trying to fake to generate space to throw.
I hate to have to have that orthodonture visit mid-game.
Like Swinnerton is all right, staying on the field. Pre-stall going on. Woolridge trying to get it around. Stall called.
There's a call on the throw.
Swinnerton calling it on Woolridge this time. I was potentially discussing if there was the uncontested foul call. If I was seeing the hand signals correctly, the stall might have been coming in on 4. Which would have only given a few counts for Woolridge to get that disc off, but it is a contested stall. Disc will stay with LA, with Woolridge just about 5 yards out. Floating.
There you go.
Sharon Lynn with the block against O'Connor. Another stall call.
So
Stall called on the throw.
with that 7-second stall count, you don't have that much time to do these pump fakes. You have to end up being comfortable throwing in the small windows, or you got to look for the dump, but you got to know that receiver. Good. Oh, nice adjustment.
San Francisco trying to get things going deep down the field, going upwind. Vicky Chen trying to put up the throw. Megan Liu unable to get it. LA back the other way. O'Connor just out of reach for her. Guarded by Chen. Seeing again how difficult it is for these teams to work it upwind at the moment. Bubble disc off of the hands of Chen. LA another chance to score on the near, starting on the near sideline. Ellie Melik picking up, guarded by McGee. Should be a fun matchup. This floating O'Connor is there, 5 yards out for LA. Inside throw, floated one more time, out the back. A little bit too quick from Sharon Sang there.
It's a catch-22. You want to progress it nicely, and that wind comes in and just puffs it up.
LA getting opportunities, not quite able to convert. We saw the same thing from San Francisco, though on the opening point. McGee forced to just put it up. Here we are again, just past half field. LA with the disc center of the field. Second throw. Weaver towards the far sideline. Tries to reset it back towards the center. Floats over the head of Connie Wang.
Good. You got it in the space. You got to get it flowing.
Swinnerton centering to Chen. A throw to Liu. Claudia Vasquez trying to put it out to Sharon Lynn.
Nice bid.
But just too low the wind, dropping that one out of the air before Sharon Lynn can get her arms underneath it. LA, yet another chance. Plenty of opportunities for both teams. Not quite able to put those clean string of throws together. And with that, we have reached the end of the first quarter. It is 1-0. San Francisco leading as we have reached the end of the first quarter of play. Been a little bit tough. Teams clearly still trying to get used to playing in this really, really tough, blustery wind. Low scoring at the moment. If you're LA, disappointed that you haven't gotten that you didn't convert the hold, and as long as they don't lose big, they're still in the championship weekend, being only down 1-0 at the end of the first quarter. Not the end of the world for Astra.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking at the Falcons' offense, they have now demonstrated that they can put a string of points together really quickly. So this definitely bodes well for LA. That said, the Falcons, I'd love to see them get comfortable and get their stars into flow and out there to demonstrate. But this win is being persnickety, but I'm excited anyway. This is a beautiful day for Ultimate. The crowd is coming in and continues to come in. This is the community showing up and supporting the Falcons. This is a beautiful sight.
Certainly the weather, besides the wind, is very favorable. Pretty classic Bay Area weather, cool, but sun shining bright over Oakland, California. But both teams will definitely be looking to try and clean things up as we get set to start the second quarter. A little bit weird, feels a little strange to have the score only be 1-0. But such has been a lot of the games that we've seen in the Western Ultimate League. Lots of windy conditions last weekend out in Utah. The wild, wild weekend. We saw some rain. We saw wind. We saw chilly conditions that put a damper on scores. Maybe not quite as much of a damper as we saw in this first quarter, but the tight game the difficulty in playing in these high wind situations not coming as a surprise given how the conditions have played a role seemingly each and every week in the Western Ultimate League.
You know, this is sort of a harp. This might be a continuing theme with the 7-second stall count with the wind. You got to throw to space. You got to trust your athlete and get into flow, and really don't get yourself giving the other team an opportunity to repeatedly look at the red zone. Continually to have looks at that, easily looks at the end zone. So let's see what happens. If you were the coach here, what would you be telling the Falcons? What would be the 2 cents you'd give them?
I'd say take advantage of the fact that you're starting on defense, going downwind to start the second quarter. Could be an opportunity here for an easy break. I say easy, seeing how things have gone, but you take advantage of Ali Malik not able to get her hands all the way on that disc going upwind, and you have this downwind opportunity. Disc with McGee on the near sideline, looking to get some motion going, finds Applegate, continues up the line to Natasha Wan, looks off the receiver, who's from the crowd, puts it up, finds, I think that's Amanda Maru for the score. That is a break for the San Francisco Falcons. They lead Astra 2-0.
That was nice. Oh, you could see a collective ooh when the crowd, you know, when the handler looked off the cutter. But hey, they scored. You can't argue with scoreboard. That was nice. LA, let's see how they respond. But the Falcons came out. They attacked on defense. That was beautiful.
Very well done by San Francisco, finally taking advantage of that break opportunity, something we did not see in the first quarter. San Francisco opening possession, able to convert the break to give them the 2-0 lead. For LA, you're back in the position you were partway through the first quarter, going downwind on offense. They hope that they can just make better use of it than they did in the first quarter when they were unable to score going downwind on offense.
So there's a little home cooking here in the booth. We're pulling for the Falcons. I like LA, but if they can make Maggie O'Connor work and minimize her touches, this is a good thing. I don't want to see her get going. And this win, look at that. Look at that.
Floated throw, Mac.
Falcons, nice.
This does eventually end up on the ground, and it's his sister Jessie O'Connor who picks it up, gets things moving for San Francisco. Swinnerton towards the near sideline, tries to find Jenna Krugler, but Krugler maybe not quite aware that that's where Swinnerton was looking. Connection falls to the turf. LA inside throw.
He's under.
Malik with the disc inside to O'Connor. Both O'Connors on the field. Maggie trying to put it to Weaver, but not enough height, not enough lift to get the disc and allow Weaver to run out and under it.
I think the Falcons are feeling pretty good here. Let's see what happens. Now we're going to see if LA can return the favor. This is a really problematic corner.
Tough corner, but O'Connor is able to swing it around to Lou. Low throw to Wen. Falcons still just about on their end zone line, but getting better offensive movement than I think we saw most of the first quarter. Commentators first as soon as I say it. San Francisco turns it over. LA with the disc right back 10 yards out of the end zone.
Commentator jinx.
Ali Malik, high release. O'Connor not quite in.
Know that receiver. Nice magical.
Oh! Lou able to get a handle. Weaver able to bring it in still, but the throw too low for Pritchard. San Francisco trying to go upwind again. Vasquez not able to connect with her receiver. Same song as we've been hearing. But LA this time finishes with a different tune. O'Connor, Maggie with the score. LA on the board with a downwind hold. They trail San Francisco 2-1.
And your 2 winners for the first quarter raffle. Look at your raffle tickets. It's 229053.
LA taking advantage of the short field that San Francisco kept giving them. They're in plenty of similar situations in the first quarter, this time actually able to get the job done.
Yeah, that part of the field, 25 in, is the magical area that once you're on D, you're going to probably have a number of looks at being able to punch it in. So let's see, there's going to be some mental stress on the O to try to get it out of there. See what happens.
Francisco getting started on offense. Ball rolling just past half field. Julia Ting, center of the field, able to get it up over the defender to Han Chen. Chen deep. That's Audrey Shi with the score.
Beautiful.
Quick score for San Francisco. They will want more of those for sure.
Beautiful. They look really comfortable with scoring quick, and that's really good. And they mitigate that situation with that with red zone issue. They score it from the 45 with ease and beauty. Lovely.
Hearing cheers of Han Chen from the crowd. Indeed, Chen's throw, so much touch needed, throwing down the wind to space like that, and able to apply just enough, and she enough with the quickness, able to get there for the quick score.
Another aspect of the game is I'm looking out the booth and seeing that the sun is coming in, so that angle as a receiver looking back to catch is not necessarily easy. So that was a big kudos for that catch, because you're definitely doing battle with the sun as it's setting.
She's still able to reel it in. Starting to see a little bit more offensive fluidity from both teams. Ollie hoping to get another quick score of their own. Able to get disc moving. Ollie Millock's throw behind Megan Reeves.
91 picking up the disc.
No.
Jesse O'Connor.
Layout block, or certainly layout pressure by Vicky Chen.
On SF Falcons. And
Unable to come up with it.
Just got the disc on LA Astra, our siblings.
Maggie O'Connor swinging center of the field. Back to O'Connor. O'Connor basically going every other at the moment. Centering Pritchard off her hands. Maybe the glare from the sun is mentioned, making things difficult. Pritchard able to be back in the vicinity. It's deny Maru the opportunity to chase that disc down.
It's not a bad idea if that was a technical punt that they planned. Just get it out of there. I like the idea. Be nice if they could have found somebody to connect with, but strategically, not bad.
Millock pointing for the deep shot. On there, floats the disc instead over the head of O'Connor. And the other O'Connor, Jesse, goes and picks it up for San Francisco. Maru far sideline,
Good
finds
handoff.
McGee.
Yeah.
Able to reel it in.
Beautiful.
Chen up to Sharon Lynn. Falcons getting some offensive flow upwind. Megan Liu on the far hash calls timeout to give Falcons a breather, maybe get a offensive focus line on the field to try and punch in this upwind break opportunity.
Yeah, that was great. They got into space, they got comfortable. It was lovely.
Liu, arguably veteran call there to give her team a breather and get some different subs on for San Francisco with, I think, some of the best offensive flow upwind we have seen all game so far, as we are just about not quite halfway through the second quarter. You want to take advantage of that if you can. San Francisco, Lou, then content to burn their second and final timeout of the half to try and take advantage of this so far rare opportunity for the Falcons.
So we have not seen the Falcons do an effective red zone. Oh, let's see what happens. They've caught their scores in space when they were flowing. Let's see what happens. They got their thoughts organized. They got some theories. They've got some plans, and see how it rolls out.
56 seconds left in the second quarter. We'll have some special
Teams returning.
For halftime.
Set up.
When you buy that
Jesse O'Connor, far hash. Vivian Chu in the backfield, setting for the reset potentially. Opting to clear up line. It's like a set play to try and get to Chen, but just maybe the wind picking it off of her fingertips. LA boosting it deep. Reeled in by Roy. Looking for a receiver.
Wow.
Not quite in. Heard the observer. Emily Ash.
It's a great spear of a throw.
Great throw, good snag. Maybe some confusion. Timeout called by LA. Back-to-back timeouts. Both teams trying to take advantage of great positioning. This time for Astra on the goal line, trying to get the score to bring it back within one. San Francisco just trying to continue to apply the pressure to deny LA from scoring downwind for as long as possible, just as they did in the first quarter.
You know, to talk about the Falcons, the disc fluttered, and that's one thing. You get it locked in, you're locked in to catch it. All of a sudden, it flutters, and you've got defense pressuring. It was definitely a sort of a tough, acute angle. And those combinations can create a turn.
Anybody who buys a raffle ticket gets to enter our halftime challenge.
It's like both teams largely sticking with
$5 for 5 tickets.
the same
They're ISO and
players.
Maggie. Oh, nope.
Attempted to isolate Maggie O'Connor. The throw not quite on point from Connie Wang.
Do they boost it? No, they.
Swinnerton thinks about it.
Nice grab.
Instead, Wen comes underneath. This still on the far sideline, but as soon as I say that, McGee gets it more center of the field. Margaret Pritchard. Loaded throw.
Nice.
McGee. Tracked down by Julia Ting. Caitlin Weaver downfield to deny Megan Liu the opportunity to go and get that disc. And Weaver boosts it. Ellie Millick.
Nice big. That's a know thy receiver moment.
I had the thought that I almost expected Dina to get there from how good she has been in so many of those moments. Just out of her reach this time.
It was beautiful on Dina's part. She jumped like she's been there before. That was beautiful.
Absolutely has. Oh, the matchup with McGee.
Boom.
McGee equal to it. Saying, I see you, Dina. Getting it back. It's going a little bit too quick. Hit called downfield. This will return to the hands. Swinnerton pick called before. Swinnerton through to Wen. SF will, with another opportunity.
Oh, we got a breakaway.
Sharon Lynn able to have it on the far sideline.
Sharon Lynn. And a diving catch to Kobe.
Kobe handling her business. I like
Megan
the
Liu
matchup.
putting it up. Oh yeah! Sharon Lynn from Megan Liu. Connection upwind. That's a break for San Francisco. They lead LA 4-1.
That is great. Falcons are feeling good. Getting their swerve on. Nice to see. Can they get a stop? And can LA respond?
Lou and Lynn, teammates in the club division. This past season with San Francisco Fury. Well acquainted with each other, able to make the connection. Fantastic touch by Lou to make sure that Lynn had enough space and that throw wouldn't get immediately caught up by the wind. Put a lot of inside angle on it to let the disc ride the wind and float for Lynn to come under for the goal.
Very impressed that the Falcons are looking great in space. It's just getting out in the space. That's the challenge. They look beautiful. They're connecting nice. So let's see if they can get a break.
Deep pull from the Falcons downwind. Halverson picking up for Astra. Astra now down 3, under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. San Francisco very much in control. LA having to work upwind on this possession. It's an immediate turnover. Throw too low for Killebrew. Falcons making really great use of the lateral space. But O'Connor cuts up the line. It's another goal for Maru. That's 2 for Maru. And it's a 5-1 lead for San Francisco as they break downwind.
So can I ask you, Jenna, can you go through the scenarios?
Let's do it. Scenarios are if San Francisco wins by 8 or more, they are into championship weekend. If SF wins, but only by 5, 6, or 7, the Arizona Sidewinders will instead be the 4th and final team to make championship weekend down in San Diego in just a couple of weeks. If LA can bring this back or maintain this deficit or less, or come back to win, they will make a championship weekend. Still all to play for as we have just under 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Both teams, especially San Francisco, picking up the energy, picking up the tempo and execution here in the second quarter.
The fans are feeling it. The Falcons are feeling it.
Ali Malik! Saved by O'Connor despite Lynn's incredible effort.
Wow.
That was an amazing play all around.
Wow.
Lynn high pointing the disc to pop it into the air, but O'Connor maintaining the concentration to lay out to save the disc from hitting the turf. Sure, not how Ali Malik drew it up, but Astra will be happy enough with the score, that's for sure.
You know, highlights are made by errant D's, errant wind, errant everything. It was athleticism on the defense when you come about catching your D's of the situation. But that was great D and the athleticism of Maggie O'Connor pulling it down.
Just impressive play all around. Sharon Lynn, who has come up with a number of defensive highlights. I'm thinking back to the Winter Cup back in December, making a goal-saving layout grab. This time, able to get hand on the disc, but with the windy conditions, still left room for O'Connor to snag the goal. Falcons getting things going. Not sure if Applegate was the intended receiver, but doesn't matter. Audrey Sheehy, quick goal again for San Francisco. She with her second of the game.
Electric, beautiful.
Falcons using those higher throws, going down the wind, allowing them to float and carry down to their receivers. Very successful for that point to take the 6-2 lead.
To see the Falcons be this electric and be able to score so quickly is terrific. I know the coaches are really happy that you have such a finely tuned engine coming together and demonstrating how good they are. This is beautiful. They need to get a stop though.
The halftime challenge is a field throw contest.
Falcons cruising at the moment. We'll see if LA can get back into the game. Get the chance to go downwind again, but so far haven't actually been all that successful with their opportunities to score. Going downwind. With just about a couple minutes left in the second quarter, LA will hope that they will be able to convert on this possession. Players hitting the turf.
Don't let LA get comfortable in this space. Let's see what happens.
Ali Melik putting it. That's Weaver sliding grab on the near cone marked by Lou.
Oh, that was a big defense. There was some body work there.
Maybe too much body work from Vicky Chen marking up against Stephanie Pritchard. Pritchard looks like calling a foul on Chen as Pritchard hit the turf. Observer ruling is foul is upheld. This will stay with Weaver. Actually with somebody. Pritchard. Pritchard picking up for Astra. A little bit of confusion there as to who would get the disc. Pritchard wide. Looks off O'Connor. Coming back the other way. It's a goal. Connie Wang with that reception for LA to give them a hold. Wang typically in the backfield for Astra, getting the goal this time into space.
That, I'm a little bummed. LA, that was awesome. Falcons need to figure this out because they had that momentum. And LA demonstrated that, you know what, we can play our game as well.
Patience from Astra to not rush. I think pretty much everyone here expected O'Connor to be the intended target, cutting towards the far sideline. Look, wasn't quite there for the handler, instead of pulling it the other way. That's another successful hold now for LA. They'll just have to hope that they can keep this up. Down just 3 with about minute 40 left in the second quarter. Reminder about rules for the end of the quarters. Team with the possession of the disc when it comes to the end of the quarter is able to maintain possession until they score or until there is a turnover. Nearly a turnover there from Roy.
Oh, nice.
Against Applegate. Chu able to come up with it. Chen diving grab. Floated. But blocked.
Almost.
Defense there. Able to just about read the disc. Alex Kruger getting the block for Astra. LA trying to get going, boosting it.
Smart move.
Floated disc. Again, the bounce is going LA's way in the second quarter. Have the disc on the far sideline.
LA's in flow.
Timeout called by Astra. 46 seconds left or so on the clock. Timeout call potentially coming from the sideline to maintain that possession with the end of quarter looming.
Smart. 46 seconds left. That was a wise call. Way to burn one.
Can't take your timeouts into the second half anyway, so if you have it, might as well use it. That was the decision for LA. Probably see some subs here as they try and punch in the goal at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, LA jacked it out of their red zone, and they're in space, and they're off and running. So let's see what happens. Can the Falcons stop this and score before the end of the quarter? It'd be nice for them to go into the half with some momentum.
Astra just hoping that they can narrow the margin. LA maintains possession for the next 45 seconds. At worst, they will be down by 3. At best, they will be down by 2. San Francisco, they'll be hoping to force a quick turnover and allow them to have the final possession. Ali Malik standing over the disc for LA, marked by Wen. Teams get set. Centering pass. Sharon's saying.
Kobe.
Ali Malik looking. Good call down the field. Malik, very similar spot where it started. Floated throw! Bruce able to get there through traffic. May Bruce. Round throw blocked. Izzy Clater with the heads up. Defensive effort.
I like that.
San Francisco putting it deep. If LA can maintain possession, they can run out the clock at the end of the second quarter. Floated throw. Bruce able to get there. Far sideline. Ali Malik. Sang. Time has expired. Low throw. I think time has expired. But that is the end of the second quarter. San Francisco going on a run to take a big lead to start. And they currently lead LA 6-3. Teams will take a break, and so will we. San Francisco Falcons leading LA Astra 6-3. I'm Jenna Weiner here with LA Astras Audrey Brown. Audrey, windy conditions here, so we're getting a bit blown around. How have Astra adapted and dealt with the conditions out here?
Yeah, so far this is definitely the windiest game we've played in. We've had some windy ones, you know, against Utah and down in San Diego, but this one takes the cake by quite a long shot so far.
Go.
Yeah, so we've been trying out a couple different defenses. I think some are working better than others right now, so for the second half we're going to be kind of honing in on the ones that have been working and really making San Francisco throw as many throws as they can.
Yeah, second half 3-point deficit, but y'all know the wind conditions to get you into championship weekend. Obviously you want to win, but what's sort of the thought process going into the second half, trying to make sure that y'all are in the situation you want to be to potentially make championship weekend?
Yeah, I think right now we're the writer of our own tragedies. I mean, we have lots of good looks and we're just not connecting. You know, the wind is really making that difficult. So I think going into this second half, we're trying to really trust our teammates, hit those open throws early, and work it down the field. And on defense, we really got to put the pressure on the dumps and the easy upfield throws. We're really got to shut down the open side and, you know, take away their deep game going downwind.
Sounds good. Best of luck out there.
Thanks so much.
What's up, everybody? We have Marissa here with San Francisco Falcons. Just gonna ask her a couple of different questions about how do you guys plan on winning this game? I'm looking at the score right now. You guys are the home team. You're up 3.
Yeah.
That's a comfortable lead, I would imagine.
We are feeling good right now. I mean, we got the home crowd, which is amazing, and it's giving us a lot of energy.
Okay.
What's working well for us is playing small ball, trying to get the disc moving quickly, not holding on too long. And then when we can capitalize on short field turnovers and upwind end zone, then you know, that's going to be really successful for us.
Yeah. That's one of the things that was going through my mind as the game was getting ready to start, was how windy it was and how much of a factor I thought it was going to be for both teams.
Yeah.
But it seems like you guys are able to kind of conquest that. What are some challenges, or what are some things that you guys do to prepare for like windy days like this?
It's a lot of throwing. You know, the better our throws are, stronger they are, the more we can cut through the wind.
Okay.
on game day, you know, we really think about what we can control. We
Mhm.
can't control the wind, so we just got to do what we can,
Do
like
what you can.
step out low,
Yeah.
you know, hit the easy open,
Yeah.
move the disc quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are kind of things we're thinking about.
Cool. Yeah, I saw you guys doing some type of trick where you guys throw the frisbee upside down.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that like counterweighting it right there?
It gives it a little bit of a different flight path, you know.
Okay.
And, I generally wouldn't do those things in the wind, but some people are very good at them. So.
Very, very talented they are. I think that's the cue to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap it up now. It was great talking
Yeah.
with you, Marissa.
Great talking to you,
What
Greg.
position do you play, by the way?
I'm a handler.
Handler.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Today I'm taking stats.
All right. Perfect. Stat taker, handler. It's all good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Are pulling. Welcome back to the second half. Your San Francisco Falcons lead.
All right, welcome back, folks, for the second half of play. San Francisco trying to take their first opportunity on offense. Unable to do so. LA with a chance. Downwind blocked by Maru.
We have playoff implications here, so this could be someone's last half of the season.
It's guaranteed to be at least one of these teams' last half of the season, just about who near sideline. Complicate Maru unable to connect. Astra getting it moving. Weaver's throw too low. San Francisco, another chance. Anderson. Far hash finds Chu, center of the field. LA in a bit of a zone look. The zone look is working. Bruised, boosts. Not quite there though.
This side of the field has been very beneficial to the defense. So as a strategy, this may work for LA. Let's see what happens.
LA looking like they're set up in a bit of a hybrid junk zone look. Person matchup on over as the disc.
His hands.
So at that moment, this moment is Applegate pitching that zippy throw. Chen pointing deep, but throw and is too low for Connor on the near sideline.
Falcons have to clean this up if they're going to be part of this game.
LA hand block. Oh, foul call.
Bummer. It starts exactly with awesome D, and that would have started a nice fast break.
Okay, thought she had it clean. Riley Swift. Otherwise, just stays with Swift. Up the line, but disc not quite in. Kruger resetting and dropped by Swift. San Francisco, another opportunity squandered for the time being. Roost and Chen matching up Weaver. 5 yards out near sideline. Pick called. There's resetting. Weaver marked by Anderson. 5 yards out. LA trying to reduce the deficit. The disc bounces right off
That
of
corner,
Lexi Roy.
that corner has wind, but it also has the sun setting, so it's not as clear or easy a catch as it may look.
All the flow forced to this side, but Maru saves it from going out of bounds.
To keep the disc
An
inbounds.
awesome catch.
Good job towing the line. And Chen boosts it. Trying to reset things for San Francisco. Weaver, the deep in this junk look that LA has been running, says no way. Roost, another chance as LA tries to generate another opportunity. Throw too low for Killebrew. Cries of try it again come from the stands. Chen tries to put it deep again. Unable to. Swift once again on this near sideline. This is floating.
Nice bid.
Weaver, an incredible attempt. Unable to do so. Weaver having to get back in position to guard the deep space.
You
Applegate.
gotta take that shot. You gotta win by 8.
Okay, thought about it to Maru, opted not to. Inside throw. Mims with it now. Falcons with momentum, working upwind. A great heads up block by Roy. Deny the motion.
Blocked by number 89.
LA with another chance. Time is quickly going by in this third quarter. Score is still just 6-3.
Another strong defensive block from the Chu. But it looks like there's a foul on
Being
the
Chu
field.
on the mark. Questions of whether the potential contact was before or after release. Contested foul. Disc will come back. In the hands of,
The clock is running.
that's Killebrew. Clock will run during discussions until we get to the last 2 minutes. I think each quarter, but especially the fourth quarter. Floated throw. And Kalen Weaver not quite in, but a spectacular save. We're setting back to Swift. LA on the goal line, on the verge. This downwind break. The collision. Weaver tried to find Bruist, but it will stay a turnover.
Good call. That was a beautiful layout catch. Fortunately for San Francisco, it was straddling the end zone.
Weaver, a former UC Santa Barbara star, getting back on defense as the deep in the zone look. And the zone look continues to pay dividends
This is
for Astra.
This is one of those situations
I'm just
where
trying to
you
pan
just got to
without
start
jerking.
taking shots because this clock is running. You just got to hope your defense, you take those shots and the defense locks it down if it goes errant.
As for San Francisco, they're having to work upwind, making those shots a lot more difficult, while Astra have had the opportunities going downwind, and this one is converted. Weaver with the assist, the diving, saving grab
Beautiful catch.
for Astra. They bring it back to within 2, down 6-4.
Fans are here. They're eager to see some action, some excitement, but
LA Astra 4.
Falcons have to step up and do something. They're having these shots, they're having the opportunities, they've got the lineup, and they have the urgency. They need to step up into this opportunity.
Francisco needing a six more goal of margin in order to make it a championship weekend. LA, as long as they are within 4, it is okay if they lose. Not a normal thing you hear for an ultimate game, but such are the ways that the tiebreakers have set up. Even if LA loses close, they will be into championship weekend.
So on the inverse of this, San Francisco can be spoilers.
They absolutely can be spoilers for LA. They could do the Arizona Sidewinders a big favor if the Falcons are able to extend their lead out to 5, 6, or 7. At the moment, the lead is just 2. Julia Ting puts it back into play for San Francisco.
It's a magical throw. Being spoilers, it sounds very... Oh, can you throw it yourself?
Throw! Ting able to chase it down and save that.
Did she just throw to herself?
Unclear exactly how that happened. Sharon Lynn, another acrobatic play. Incredible plays all over the place.
Let's go to the replay on that one.
Jacqueline Wen with the goal from Sharon Lynn with the upside down throw. Just amazing plays.
That was athleticism. That's where we came here.
Julia Ting showing that as long as the disc is still in the air, it's still viable. Not clear if it was tipped or what exactly happened, but nobody had any issue with it as soon as she dug it out, and San Francisco able to get the hold, going downwind, take the lead out back to 3, up 7-4.
Those type of plays in some level can be, dicey with the wind, but those are those moments that become electric. You have this athleticism come in, pulling those those discs. That was exciting. That was awesome. That's why we play the game.
Sharon Lynn racking up blocks and blocks attempts as well as a goal and an assist. Jacqueline Wen with 2 goals alongside Amanda Maru and Audrey Sheehy. 3 players with 2 goals so far for San Francisco.
Yeah.
Biggie Chen layout block against Pritchard. San Francisco with another opportunity. Star power, the highlight plays that we were expecting all along for San Francisco. Showing out, but not happening right now. O'Connor taking off down the field, but saying to reset it to Weaver. O'Connor opts to come under.
Shooter's gonna shoot.
Puts it. Dina.
What the heck happened there? No foul.
No foul. Wen with the block. Preventing Ellie Mellick from getting the disc.
Great. Nice.
Connor hoping that Ellie Mellick could make another highlight reel play, but Wen, no stranger herself to highlight reels. Able to get it, but it's a hand block on the goal line against McGee.
Can't be cute around the end zone. Gotta boost it right now. San Francisco needs to score. Got to score.
Mazer with the hand block. Ellie Mellick centering to Pritchard, going around. Mellick marked by Wen. Low throw.
Boom.
Caught for the goal. Connie Wing with her second goal of the game.
Nice LA red zone. Really nice. So, home cooking. Let's see what happens with the Falcons.
7-5 now in San Francisco's favor. What would, of course, be nice to win the game, and we do still have a quarter and a couple minutes left to play. At the end of the day, it would not matter for the final standings for San Francisco. At least they would still be out of championship weekend. LA would be very happy if the margin stayed just where it was for the next 14 minutes or so.
That's a great point. We definitely want to see the Falcons get the W, aside from the implications. This is what we're looking for. And San Francisco is playing terrific. But seeing if they can achieve that 8-goal margin would be electric. They have the firepower. Let's see if they're able to put it together.
Astra with a nice pull along the near sideline. She centers it to Natasha Wan. Astra opting to go back to that zony look, and it pays off. Woolridge as the deep able to track it down. And LA is quick to move it up the near sideline. Woolridge again, inside throw, rebound. Caught by Halverson. Again, breaks and bounces, seeming to go LA's way. Halverson boosts it. Chen is in the vicinity on Chen, able to stave off Alex Kruger.
Can you actually practice making great plays off of doinks? I don't know if that's a thing, because definitely LA's been doing a highlight reel off of Karams.
Sometimes it is helpful to be lucky and also good.
That too.
Astra not just getting lucky, but making a little bit of their own luck. Mims not able to snare that on the near sideline. LA with another chance. This would be to break up win to reduce the deficit to just 1. Good line floated throw. Chen.
Too bright.
All over Kruger
Call on the field.
on that catch.
I'm sure San Francisco knows this, but they have to step up with D and not worry about getting burned. They have to shut down those in lanes. In cuts.
LA staying patient with the disc. Halverson doing great work in the backfield.
Yes!
But it's Vivian Chu with the block layout to deny Kaylin O'Bara. And almost right back from LA. Audrey Brown makes an attempt.
Good luck. Boom.
Deep throw. Ajadari.
13 seconds left in the quarter.
San Francisco can hold on to it, and from the sideline, timeout is called. Coaches knowing that with some 10 seconds currently on the scoreboard, that San Francisco cannot turn it over here if they're going to have any chance of making a final push in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
Great throw.
Start out with some big mo if they can punch it in. Let's see. San Francisco has done really well attacking the goal in space. Let's see what happens if they run their O, the red zone O.
It was a great deep shot by, I think it was Sally Mims, able to find Danya Ajadari for the grab. Ajadari a little stranded initially in the deep space. Falcons coaches saying, "No, we don't want to rush this. We want to score. We want to punch it in, take our lead back to 3, and try and make that final fourth quarter push to try and spoil LA's season, or seal their own spot if they can generate a 5-goal margin in the fourth quarter."
Exactly. Let's see what happens.
Jesse O'Connor with the disc.
Trying to get Kobe in space.
Instead resetting to Julia Ting.
Oh!
And I think that's as called from the booth. Sliding grab by Jacqueline Wen, a.k.a. Kobe, for the score. That will take us to the quarter break. 8-5 San Francisco advantage.
That's great. Closed out the quarter. Beautiful.
At the end of the third quarter,
Wins
it's
third goal of the game already, and very involved trying to close out those points. I think most, if not all, of our goals have come in that exact end zone.
Yeah, no, San Francisco's feeling good. Got a little pep in their step. You can see it. They are psyched. Let's see if LA, how they respond. They've got one more quarter in their season to either extend it or off into the night.
They are also durable, just like our players.
So, Lawrence, one more time for us and everyone at home, the scenarios. What we're playing for. A final spot in championship weekend. Whoever takes it will have to face undefeated as of now. Seattle playing Oregon tomorrow. Undefeated Seattle Tempest top seeded championship weekend. If LA makes the 3-point plus comeback, then they will be in. They win and they are in. If Astra lose, if the margin stays something like this, 1, 2, 3, or 4, LA will lose this game, but they will make it the championship weekend. That is the prize that they are really hoping for. Although, of course, the win here would be nice for Astra. If San Francisco is able to extend their current lead of 3 out to 5, 6, or 7, Arizona Sidewinders, who've been sitting, waiting, crossing their fingers, hoping results go their way, would be in the championship weekend based on tiebreakers, including point differential. If San Francisco can go on a run and balloon this 3-point margin to an 8-point margin, they will be in the championship weekend. It will be very interesting to see how it plays out, how quickly San Francisco tries to score, and if LA is content to take the close loss to secure their spot in championship weekend.
Well, I would hope that the coach would want, I'm talking about for LA, would want to win. You want to go into championship weekend on the momentum of a W, but you take it where you take it. And if your matchup is against Seattle, that's a formidable opponent. They score quick and often. But that said, let's get back to the game and let's see how these teams respond.
Weaver starting with the disc, center of the field, finds O'Connor. O'Connor trying to hit Ellie Mellick again, and this time Dina is able to come up with it. Felicia Yang on the end zone line, floated throw, Pritchard. Stall call though, Vasquez on the mark on Yang, stall called, and it is upheld. It is a turnover on the stall from Vasquez. Vasquez applying the mark to force it after Lamuk was able to come down with the disc.
Nice. Let's see the urgency. Do they go for the W? LA's looking like they want to win. Falcons need to come out strong, go for beyond the W, go for the championship, go for that weekend.
Able to connect on the far sideline. Ellen Mellick now. 2 receivers in the area. Throw goes over both Pritchard and Weaver's head. So Jesse O'Connor over to pick up the disc for San Francisco.
So there's a level of urgency. They need to start the disc, get it going. Time is not on their side. I'm speaking of San Francisco.
Falcons having to work up when Vasquez with the touch of momentum. Pick call. Downfield, disc will stay with Vasquez, marked by Yang by the far sideline cone. Up the line, able to connect with Liza Chang. Throw floats.
There you go. All right, Falcons are in space.
Luck breaks the Falcons' way. Megan
Love
to Lynn.
Oh.
Lynn tried to go all the way up for it. Unable to come down with it this time.
She had targets. She took the look. Let's see what happens.
Mellick trying to boost directly into McGee. McGee denying. Ellen Mellick took a little high five, low five of respect between the two incredible players. Jesse O'Connor tries to hit McGee. Cannot. Cries of do it again. Falcons fans trying to cheer their team to generate another quick block that could turn into a quick point. Look underneath for Astra.
Nice.
Looking for O'Connor, but Sharon Lynn says no way.
Nice. Come on, get into space.
Sharon Lynn bring highlights, but that throw out of her reach. Falcons, lots of opportunities, unable to make the final pass count. Well, LA is content to throw downfield, continue to look for Elimelech. McGee constantly in the area to deny that throw.
LA has the margin they want.
Vasquez, hit called. Far sideline for San Francisco, 10 yards out. Inside throw to Chang, continues. That's Jesse O'Connor. That's a 4-point margin, 9-5. San Francisco lead.
Right. They grinded that out. Sometimes it's going to be pretty. Sometimes it's going to be ugly. You just got to grind. That was great. That's what they needed.
Falcons 9.
It is exactly what they needed, but it is not what LA needed. If San Francisco scores one more point and LA cannot, it will be Arizona into championship weekend instead of LA.
This makes things very interesting now. Let's see how LA responds. Now there is urgency.
That was an upwind score from San Francisco, means that LA now has to work against the wind. It's gonna make it difficult on them. Might be advantage San Francisco. But LA have been able to work upwind pretty well. Motion quickly up to O'Connor. Elimelech far sideline. Back to O'Connor. Zella has already, well, I was going to say reach half field, but Weaver with the drop. San Francisco, another opportunity.
All right, they've done really well in space going this direction. Let's see what happens.
Jadari resets Swinnerton. Chu thinks about it. Goes for the inside cross throw to Jacqueline Lynn. Floated throw. Just out of the reach of Clater. Downwind opportunities once again for San Francisco. Once again going wanting, but LA pinned in that far corner where we have seen so many turns.
Better take that
so
shot.
much defensive pressure.
Yep.
Woolridge hears you from the booth. Lawrence takes the shot. Elimelech gets under it. Resets to O'Connor. LA in position.
They look very comfortable. Come on, San Francisco. Shut it down.
Elimelech floating to O'Connor. O'Connor able to get it.
O'Connor being O'Connor. Wow.
Elimelech, O'Connor, that's a connection we're very much used to. O'Connor often trying to boost it to Elimelech, but this time it's Elimelech with the assist. It's actually her third assist of the game. Well, that is Connor's third goal of the game. Those two star players for Astra trying to make sure the deficit stays where it needs to be for LA to make championship weekend. Just about halfway through the fourth quarter, 3-point margin advantage, San Francisco 9-6.
So now, I don't know. I want to be optimistic that San Francisco has the firepower to put up an 8-point differential. Can they hold off a charging LA, secure a solid W before the end of the season? Let's see what happens. But LA still has urgency to make sure that this deficit does not balloon anymore.
Just as we said for the previous point, now the Falcons having to work up when both teams' offenses really able to get the job done in the later stages of this game to move the disc in the upwind direction. Right to left on your screen. Throw saved by Liu. Incredible save by Megan Liu on the throw from O'Connor. Astra, what looks like a poachy look.
Real poachy. They're playing small ball. They got a jacket out of there.
Astra know if they can burn clock, longer they can keep the Falcons from scoring, the less likely it is that SF will be able to build that 5-point margin that will deny Astra their championship weekend opportunity. O'Connor jammed near sideline. Liu attempting to avoid the contact, but still gets collided into, gets bundled over by Ellie Malik.
Potentially a dangerous play.
Yes, they're going to see. Yes, they call it a dangerous play.
We've been very clearly pulled up, seeing the potential contact from Ellie Malik.
It did stop the clock, which is good. We got San Francisco in space. There's no offside calls like in soccer, so they got to take it. Oh, you got to take that.
Liu had Chen potentially deep.
Only 15 seconds to reach an agreement on the call.
San Francisco opting to play small ball for the time being. Trying to just find that opening. Chen bursts his speed up the line, not there. Inside throw. Julia Ting. Ting unmarked for the moment. Inside throw is good for the score. Han Chen cutting across towards the sideline for the reception. Double digits for San Francisco. They lead LA 10-6.
Very good.
Back to that dangerous 4-point deficit if you're LA. Once again, teams able to work it upwind. I think that's the third score in a row that we've seen upwind. Perhaps the wind actually dying down a bit out there. Lawrence, what do you think?
Yeah, looking at the flag on the football goal, it is looking like it's not a factor at the moment.
Still, if there is wind at all, it could play a role, especially when LA is trying desperately to keep this margin where it is at or less to maintain their spot in championship weekend.
The wind can gust, the sun is setting, so that does play an obstacle for receivers.
Just a drop, unforced error from Pritchard off the fingertips. That could be catastrophic for LA. Swinnerton, 10 yards out for San Francisco.
Ooh,
save grab. Jacqueline Wen.
Kobe being Kobe.
Hit call. Sharon Lynn got space on O'Connor, but the disc resetting back to Swinnerton.
Mention the ISO. Let's see if she hit the ISO Kobe.
Jacqueline Kobe Wen. Not the receiver. Instead, it's Sharon Lynn getting tons of space and catching it over the bidding O'Connor. The drop by Pritchard leading to the downwind break, and it's a 5-point margin. 11-6 San Francisco. Sidewinders fans at home. Arizona has to be celebrating that at the moment. As of now, they are into championship weekend.
Falcons are in the spoiler conversation. Do they have 3 more points in them without an LA response? Maybe. Right now, looks like San Francisco is going to have some home cooking, a home cooking W. See if they can spoil the party for the visiting Astra.
3.5 minutes left on the clock. This is where, if you were looking at how this game could shake out to cause as much potential chaos, as much potential drama
Nice.
This is what you were hoping for. This is what we were hoping for, at least in my view.
What a drama here.
Hey, it's fun if there's drama. It's fun if it's interesting. We love that in the final week of the regular season in the Western Ultimate League, these games are absolutely mattering to everyone on the field and awaiting to see how it turns out if you're Arizona.
Love to see how athletes respond when the chips are down in this situation.
And it's another drop. Weaver unable to hold on to it. Jesse O'Connor picking up. Find Megan Liu, who puts it out. Floated throw.
Gotta look.
Not quite read correctly by Audrey Sheehy.
I'm getting the sense that San Francisco's feeling it. Can we generate 3 more scores? There you go.
And it's a layout bid. Applegate sliding in ahead of Pritchard. San Francisco with all the momentum, all the energy. LA looking like they have absolutely no answers. Inside throw, save, score San Francisco. That's a 6-point margin as they lead 12-6. Absolutely diving, amazing save by Vicky Chen. 2.5 minutes left, 6-point margin. Arizona has to be feeling comfortable, but San Francisco, the fans here, they want more. They want 2 more goals to put their Falcons into championship weekend.
We got a packed house here. Want to do sort of like cooking it up with the chef. That was awesome. That was nice cutting, very decisive throw for the score. Awesome.
Incredible defense as well by Applegate to get in front of Pritchard to force the turnover to get that layout block. Falcons wasting absolutely no time.
So do you do a roller on the pull to make sure LA does not get a running start? Let's see what happens. They're going to throw it and just see if they can pin him back.
Once again, LA having to work upwind. Falcons having the advantage to work a bit downwind. Hunchen with the pull. Fantastic pull by Chen, trying to pin LA back. LA coming out in the vertical stack. Bit of a different look than what we've seen from Astra so far this game.
How steely can LA be? Do they have ice water in their veins?
LA getting nice motion, upwind. Thought about it, but it's a drop. Unforced error once again. Obara. San Francisco feeling it. Julia Ting. Saved! Right outside the end zone. Amanda Maru. Not quite there. Stall count rising. Back to McGee. McGee around to Chang. Chang continuing. Floated throw. Dropped by Natasha Wan under heavy defensive pressure by Audrey Brown.
One giant collective. Oh, from the crowd.
Minute 40 left. LA needs to score. Need to score quickly to secure their place. Otherwise, Arizona will be taking their spot. Timeout. Looks like it was called by LA. Disc was in the hands of Bruce on that far corner.
Can San Francisco generate a score? And then everything's up in the air.
This is such an interesting situation we have here because we have a minute and a half left. LA needs 2 goals. They are down by 6. They need to get it within 4 to make championship weekend. San Francisco also needs 2 goals to make it a championship weekend. Neither of these teams want a single goal, just one to go in one direction or the other. They need their team to score 2 goals, or else Arizona, currently sitting very pretty at the 6-point margin. The Sidewinders, who have been off for weeks. They last played down in San Diego in week 6, lost both of their games.
And for anybody who bought merch over $25.
And that
Got
put
your
them
very
down
own
at
SF
2 and
Falcons
4.
poster,
Seemed like they would be down and out. The results have gone their way. The Wild, the Utah Wild, losing all 3 of their games at home last weekend. And LA struggling to keep it close here with San Francisco. The Sidewinders off since week 6. Could get their spot come week 8 without even playing.
Minute 32. I'm looking at, this is San Francisco's opportunity. I don't think LA's going to be able to jack it downfield and create the offense they need. But it's perfect for San Francisco to force that 7th point, give an opportunity for an 8th.
Low throw, that's the quick turn that San Francisco needed. Disc rolls out of bounds. Vivian Chu going to quickly pick it up and caught by McGee. I thought Pritchard had gotten a hand to it, but McGee able to hang on. Chu to Ting, back to Chu.
Space, let's see.
San Francisco feeling the urgency, but the throw too low from Chu, but LA also needs to move. Again, one score will not do it for either of these teams at the moment.
They're trying to figure it out. They're not playing with a lot of speed.
And block! Wen heads up block. Ting with the disc. San Francisco need to score quickly. Chang resetting to McGee.
Gotta shoot.
McGee out wide
Nice.
to Chang. Chang continues to Wen. 43 seconds left. Is there a call? There is a call. There's a pick called.
I don't know.
Pick called LA Melik against Wen. It's a crowded vertical stack there. LA Melik caught up on it.
Red zone
Chang.
drama. Give it
Near
to her.
sideline, McGee score!
Nice.
41 seconds left. San Francisco just needs one. San Francisco, I repeat, just needs one.
Wow. Why we play the game.
13-6. If you're Arizona at this point, now you're rooting for LA. Earlier, you're rooting for San Francisco. Your allegiances have switched. Congratulations, Sidewinders fans. You're now Astra fans.
You know, so now it's interesting. LA plays a spoiler now.
They can. They absolutely can. 41 seconds left trying to overturn a 7-point margin. Doesn't seem like it's really going to be possible. So the question is, can LA hold on to this long enough to prevent San Francisco from getting a quick score that would take them in a shock, I would say, into championship weekend?
Pretty darn cool. So for LA, so you're going to play spoiler. Do you boost it and then you're just going to lock down D, or do you run your O and then San Francisco gets a stop somewhere at 40-50 and has a chance to look? Do you give them that opportunity?
I think if you're LA, I think the sporting thing to do is to try and score at this point. There's no reason to just hold on to it. Might as well try and score. But, because right, here's the thing. If you're LA, you're already out of it at this point. Sorry, LA Astra fans. Maybe I'm calling this too early with 41 seconds left. But it feels like to me that LA is out of the conversation for championship weekend, given the margin where it is at currently. The question is, how does it work out for San Francisco? San Francisco getting ready to pull. Megan Liu sending it out. Lofted pull.
They're going to run their O.
Vertical stack, low throw.
Running their O.
Halverson
They're not boosting it. They're playing to score.
swinging around.
They're burning the time.
Kruger. Low throw. Audrey Brown able to snag it. 9, 8.
There's a turn. They'll call time.
Time is running out on San Francisco. Sharon Lynn almost saved it. Ali Melik to Brown. Time has expired. Ellie Mellick with the grab on the near sideline. Inside throw. That's a score for LA.
Nicely done, LA.
But neither of these teams will make championship weekend. Instead, the honor goes to the Arizona Sidewinders. Congratulations, Arizona. Y'all have not played for 2 weeks, and you are in the championship weekend. Arizona will face off against Seattle in San Diego in 2 weeks. Amazingly, Arizona won their only 2 games at home at the Sidewinder Showdown in week 1. Week 1, they have not won a game since week 1, but the results have fallen in their favor. Congratulations to the Arizona Sidewinders for making it to championship weekend. San Francisco Falcons will have to take the win as consolation. They have beat the LA Rifles. And for Astra, opportunity missed. Could not keep it close enough. And in the end, it goes Arizona's way for championship weekend.
Beautifully put, Jenna. Congratulations, absolutely, what Jenna said to Arizona. Congratulations. Falcons, they closed out with a W, a decisive W. There's a lot of things that were very positive. They showed that they have the offense to put up points on the game and get in the flow confidently. LA, they had opportunities. They had some opportunities that did. The wind came in, created some flutter, and I'm sure there were some points I'd love to have back. But hey, they closed. Falcons, bravo. Nice to you. Nice job.
Neither team particularly celebrating, even though the Falcons did win. With both teams missing out, it's a at least subdued air out on the field. Both teams ruining the opportunities missed. The Falcons knowing that with just one more goal, if they prevented LA from scoring and scored one more themselves, they would have been in LA. Feeling like they were so close to keeping the margin close enough. Instead, both San Francisco and LA will have to wait to 2023 to get their opportunity at championship weekend.
There was a lot of what-ifs, absolutely. What-ifs can nag at you, but also what-ifs can drive you to get better for next season. But yeah, there's definitely, you're at home and things are quiet. There's going to be some what-ifs. What if we did this? What if I caught that? But that's okay. That's why we play the game. That's why athletes drive athletes to get better.
Heartbreak for both teams, although the consolation win for San Francisco. For championship weekend, May 14th, May 15th, down in San Diego at Mira Mesa High School. All games will be streamed, live streamed. We have the 1 and the 4 matchup. Seattle Tempest will be playing the Arizona Sidewinders, while in the 2-3 matchup, San Diego Super Bloom will take on Oregon Onyx. The winners of those semifinal games will play for the inaugural Western Ultimate League Championship. The losers will play in the 3rd place game. It's been a fun season. Lawrence, I'm excited to watch championship weekend. We got one more game for you this weekend in the Western Ultimate League. Seattle playing Oregon in Oregon tomorrow night. Check it out.
And props to Oregon, too.
Props to Oregon. Inaugural season.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them with their first game of the season. I know they were working it out, but they had a lot of pep in their step, a lot of things connecting. The Falcons came away with a win there, but I didn't realize that we were going to see they took that W, that loss, and went off and ran off a really solid season. So congratulations, and see how they go against San Diego.
Should be a fun weekend. Thank you for joining us. I have been Jenna Weiner.
Lawrence McKendall.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you hopefully next season, 2023, for San Francisco Falcons home game. Signing off from Oakland, California. Have a good weekend, y'all. Jenna Weiner here post-game with the San Francisco Falcons, Vicky Chen. Vicky, that was a tight, hard-fought game for y'all. Ended up with the win, but maybe feels a little bit disappointing. Y'all were so close, needed an 8-point margin to make championship weekend, had 7, finished at 6. What was it like at the end of the game as y'all were trying to finish out and push that 8-point margin?
I think we all knew what was on the line. It was very dramatic, but the whole game we were trying to play with the mentality of 1 point at a time, get the D, get the score. and that's how we went into the last point as well. It's just fundamentals, like get the D, get the score, and have a good time. Have fun playing Ultimate in this setting.
Yeah, and the Falcons, a bit of a disappointing season, going 2-4, but winning both of the home games. What is it meant to play in the Western Ultimate League, play professional Ultimate, especially in front of this home crowd?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome playing in front of the home crowd. The energy here gives us a lot of energy. But, you know, also traveling has been a privilege. Traveling to other cities, playing in front of their home crowd also was really, really fun, and just like an extremely amazing experience. It was also great just like knowing how many young women or girls that we were inspiring, and trying to carve out a space in the Bay Area where we're the only female pro sports team, and just trying to make a mark and show what female athletes can do and what Ultimate is all about.
Sounds good. Any thoughts looking forward to Falcons 2023? This is obviously Bay Area, very talent-rich area. What do you think we can expect from the Falcons of 2023?
I think we can, take the momentum that we have going out of this season and take it to the next season, knowing what we can do, and showing up, I think, with a little bit more focus and drive from the very, very start, from tryout 1, practice 1, and take that energy that we have at home more to our away games, and hopefully improve our record and make playoffs.
Sounds good. Thanks for talking.
Yeah, thank you.
If you feeling